Good morning and welcome to Trent Today. My name is Susan and it's May 23rd. What a gloriously beautiful day we are having. I mean, it hasn't happened totally. Yesterday was a bit soggy. I was planning to go out for my first round of golf, but that didn't happen. So there's always, well, not next week because I have a hospital meeting, but anyways, the golf course will be there for a while, I'm sure. So lots has happened. We had a bit of a technical glitch last Wednesday and I was too busy to do one on Friday, and then we had a long weekend, so here I am. A couple of things I just wanted to bring you up to date on, but before I go there, I would like to say that for some of you, I know you only watch sort of the first minute or two, and then you say, okay, I don't need to know that. I hope you'll stay tuned till the end because I do have something I'd like to share with you. And if not, you can always just sort of move the little bar along the line and hear what I have to say at the end if you don't want to stay tuned for the whole thing. So last Tuesday, Varouge, who is the president of the Campbellford Memorial Hospital, made a presentation to council. We had a council meeting in Campbellford. And I have to tell you, it was one of the best presentations that I have seen at council. I've been to council meetings for over a year. But what impacted me the most was the fact that Varouge and the committee have recognized something that I have been trying to discuss with the community, and that is that we are an aging retirement type community. There's no shame in that. Only the lucky get to be as old as we are. But by identifying that for his project, for the medical facility that he's trying to bring to our community, it means he can look at specific things. And I think that we as a community have to recognize that. Yes, I know everybody wants to have the youth in here and stuff, but the reality is we have certain limitations that I don't foresee changing necessarily in our lifetime. But that's for another topic, another time. But Varouge's presentation was very good. And if Varouge is ever going to be doing a presentation for one of the community organizations, you really should try and get out to hear what he has to say. They're talking about aging people, us aging, but also the fact that the care will be along those lines. He recognized that a lot of our population, our growth in population, will come from cottagers or weekenders, as my neighbor calls herself, who are going to start moving into their cottages permanently. And that's where he sees the maximum growth really coming from. So if you ever get an opportunity to hear him speak, please go and listen to what he has to say. And he's very approachable and he loves to talk about our hospitals, so you're very lucky. I went to the candidates debate. Always interesting. I think the general consensus was, as we walked out of there, that the gentleman from Trillium was the best or most authentic speaker. He kept saying, I know we're not going to form the government, but he was very, very honest and he didn't try and use up the 2 minutes. If he only had a minute worth of stuff to say, that's what he said. We also, a lot of people felt very positively about the Green representative. He was very good. And a lot of people said to him, apparently, because I went up and spoke to him, they said they'd love to vote for him, but in this election they have to make a very strategic plan. So, and the other three candidates, well, we'll see how that all falls out. Since last week to this week, the polls, the provincial polls have changed a little bit, so, you know, hold on, this is going to be a bit of a ride. So then, we moved forward, fast forward to the weekend. I got up bright and early and it was starting to rain, and I flew into the horticultural sale at the corner of Bridge and Doxy, and I was able to pull right up and loaded up my truck with hostas. And as always, Teresa and the staff there were so helpful because I had emailed Teresa and said, you know, look, I'm really sorry, but I got to get there as soon as I can. I have to go to Warkworth and volunteer. So, you know, I'm loading up the truck and I said, Teresa, count it out. How much do I owe you? So by the time I headed out, it was raining. Got to Warkworth and I was stationed in the fire hall. It was pouring rain by that time, and There were people already waiting to use the washroom facilities, which is why the fire hall was opened. And so when I came home, I did a huge shout out on Facebook to the fire department in Warkworth. Thank you for opening up the facilities so that we could use them. I got to sit and read a book for 2.5 hours. I haven't done that in so long. I kept thinking, oh my gosh, I got to read another chapter of this book. But I also got to meet a lot of the artists and to hear what they had to say. They love art in the park. They certainly will come back, planning to come back, even though Saturday was rainy. Sunday was absolutely beautiful. I got to speak to Rick English, who is one of the councillors in Warkworth, about the fire department and a little bit how it worked. Not a lengthy discussion, because on Friday we had had a car rollover and a car fire, which had led to a little field fire. And you know what? If you don't know how something works, you can't imagine what the requirements are to get the job done. So I asked questions. I want to be informed. I want to know how things work, and I want to know who makes the decisions and how things in our community operate. So then after that, I went and picked up my beautiful white lilac and lilacs, and I got a purple one as well, but it isn't going to bud this year. Then I headed down to the yellow bordello and picked up a few dishes, and then came home and called it a day. Wow, I had other things to do. So that is basically what happened last week, and we're now up to beautiful weather, black flies everywhere. I learned something new today. I wondered how much longer these little bugs, in more than one way, are going to be around. And black flies actually lay their nests in running water. And I live near the Crow River, and it's been running viciously or vivaciously, however you see it. So we have a lot of black flies. It's unfortunate, but we do have a lot of black flies. And the mosquitoes show up every once in a while, and this is what we waited all winter for. And then, when we had the cold, wet spring, we said, oh man, can only wait for summer. Well, beautiful sunny weather, and we are sort of housebound. So a couple of things I'd like to bring to your attention this weekend, in case you didn't get the message. It's the Lilac Festival. This is for the luncheon. This is an invitation to the luncheon, and this is to let you know what's going on at the festival. I won't be able to participate. Thought I would, but plans have changed a little bit. Don't forget, there's also the Jazz Bistro. There are tickets on sale, including 2 of mine, because I can't go. I hope you pick them up, because I'd like my money back, but we'll see how that works out. Friday and Saturday in Warkworth, there is a book sale. It's by donation. When they say by donation, I don't think they mean 25 cents. If you pick up 5 or 6 books that are normally $20 or $30, let's say 5 books, because I like to keep numbers round, $20? 15 would be the least for 5 hardcover books. This is a fundraiser for the library, and I just was reading an interesting article on libraries and how libraries have sort of waned in popularity because people can read it on electronic readers and stuff like that. But in communities, they are now coming back to being community centers or hubs. Everything's becoming a hub. In downtown Toronto, where there are young families, the libraries are packed and very, very popular. And even here in our communities, we are blessed to have, 3 libraries in each community. They work on different hours. But to be able to go and pick up a book or some videos, or to go and learn how to use a computer, as the one of the things that we do offer in the community, it's amazing and it's wonderful. And there are many books that I read that I only really need to read 1 or 2 chapters. I don't read a lot of novels currently. I hope to get back to doing that. But there are a lot of sort of business books and books on urban planning and those type of things that, you know what, you need 1 or 2 chapters. It's like, what is it, the 7 steps of highly effective people. Well, you read the chapter titles and you go, well, I know that, I can do that. But you want to catch a few things. So taking books out of a library is probably, you know, one of the most enjoyable things you can do, because you can go and you can just sort of glance through and say, oh, wow, I'm going to read this. I hadn't planned to. So those are a couple of things that are happening this Saturday. The Lilac Festival with the, you can walk through the festival, the path, and at the end of the path you will have the tea. So I hope that the weather holds. Again, it's not sounding like it's going to be too nice, but you know what? They don't get it right all the time, and we only need it to be dry. It doesn't have to necessarily be sunny for you to be able to enjoy the Lilac Festival. And for those of you who have stuck around until the end, I just wanted to let you know that I have put in my nomination papers. I will be running for mayor of Trent Hills. I know a lot of people are shocked. I will not be using this channel to promote myself during the election. This is about the community. Trent Hills Today is about the community, but it's because I believe in our community that I feel it's important for me to run, and I believe that as mayor I can have the most impact. So I just wanted to let you know. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about this as we move forward. I think that everybody's sort of in a holding pattern in the municipality, because the provincial election is so important at this point. But after that is said and done, it'll be the municipal election, and I will be running for mayor. So I just thought I'd let you know. And I look forward to meeting so many more of you in the coming months. And so until next time, take care.